G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another episode of Wasteland Survival. Normally at the beginning of these episodes I actually try to wave my character, but for some reason that emote doesn't seem to be working anymore, so yeah. Anyway, I think it's about time that we kind of finish off this room, so there's just a few little things that I need to do. So I've got to replace all these blocks on the back with conveyor junctions. Also, somebody on my Discord server mentioned that this block here was unfinished, so we're going to finish that. The second thing is, I think what I want to do here is, because obviously with these conveyor sorter blocks, hydrogen can only enter the block this way, but it can't exit the block. So I kind of need to fix that. I need to run a conveyor system underneath the floor to go to this junction here, then up the back to this junction here, or these junctions. Oh no, yeah, sorry, just one junction. And yeah, we need to do the conveyor junctions on the back here as well as the air vents as well. So yeah, still quite a bit to do, but I think I'm just going to time-lapse this bit because it's going to take me a little while to get that done. Okay, and there we go. I think the room is pretty much done, with the exception to this here conveyor pipe. Alright, so I do believe that is everything connected up. Looks like the hydrogen tanks are now full. So yeah, it appears as if everything is working, although I'll probably figure out I've missed one pipe somewhere. That was a bit of a mission getting this to actually work, especially considering this room is kind of like on the corner of the room next to it, which is like, if I remember correctly, the reactor room is next to this room, so I'm pretty sure the corner of that is pretty much on the dead corner of this room. So yeah, I think I actually removed a few blocks from the corner of that room, but that's alright, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, pretty happy with how this turned out. I will not time-lapse the roof because I've done that about 17 times before. Yeah, so I'll probably do that in my spare time. Now, a couple of people in the comments mentioned that I should probably get rid of these hydrogen engines, and I don't know. I think I may get rid of them, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do with those ones yet. So, alright, the next thing that I would like to do is work on yet another room. So I think now what I would like to work on is a room kind of on the second floor, maybe? I'm not exactly sure which floor I want to make it on. I'm just going to close this door so everything's sealed up though. Just close that one and close this one. Alright, there we go. Now everything is sealed up. So on the second floor, what I was thinking of doing is building some sort of crew quarters. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do for that room. Okay, let's go to the second floor. Alright, so here we are on the second floor. And what I was thinking is putting a crew quarters, or not just one crew quarters, but kind of like a whole collection of crew quarters. So I'm thinking I'll have a hallway similar to this one, except I think I'm going to make it one block shorter because it doesn't really need to be this wide. And then have it kind of coming off this section here. The only problem is if I have a hallway that is 3 blocks internal space, because this one is 5, then the outer wall will come to here and the outer wall will come to here. And then on the side of that, I'm going to need a room of at least 5 by 5 blocks, I would imagine, which means the outer dimensions of that would be 7 by 7. So the wall for it would pretty much come out to here. Hopefully this makes sense to you guys. It kind of makes sense to me. So I think instead what I'll do is head up onto the 3rd floor. Actually, before I do that, I should probably get some energy. Alright, there we go. I'm all energied up, if that is even a word. Not really. Alright, so let's head on up to the 3rd floor and see what we can do. Okay, so here we are on the 3rd floor. And honestly, I think this is going to be the only place we can put this room, because the hallway is long enough. It's actually, yeah, and I had never originally planned to put any rooms here, but I think if we place a door in the middle here, then it will look very similar to all the other hallways below it, and we can kind of build as big as what we want. And I do believe that on this side of the mountain is quite deep. So if I go to the control panel here, sorry, my control tower, and then we exit out the side door, we should be able to see exactly how much room we do have. So we'll head on outside this door here, and then this one as well. So yeah, I mean, this side of the mountain is quite deep, and don't forget that hallway down below actually is quite low. It probably sits at about maybe this level here. So I think I'm going to have more than enough room inside the mountain to actually build what I want to. So I think that's what I'm going to do instead. The question is though, what kind of rooms am I going to place on the 2nd floor on the other side? I don't know, I would appreciate some suggestions as to some other rooms that I can build. I do know I can build a mess hall, but I don't know. But, you know, it kind of makes sense for the mess hall to kind of be on the other side of the barracks, or not so much the barracks, but, you know, the collection of crew quarters that I'm going to build. So it kind of makes sense for a mess hall to be there. But the question is, what do I build on the second floor? Decisions. Okay, so I'm going to think about this design a little bit, and then I'll be back. Alright, well, I think I have a kind of general idea of how I'm going to set this thing up. So, yeah, basically, here we are going to have our door. But before I do that, I need to basically get rid of these blocks. Do I have a cargo container up here? Yes, I do. Fantastic. Alright, so let's get rid of all of these. I'm going to change these end windows here to... Yeah, well, yeah, I got to change the end windows to be end windows. So we'll place these blocks in. Get these welded up. And then from there, we can start placing our door down. Actually, I honestly, it's been that long since I've done these that I can't really remember how they go. I think it was something like this. So that one, then just a regular half slab, which will be this one. Then we have our door, so which will be here like this. Although, need to find my half door. Yep, like that. And then from there, we will basically have these little tips here, like this, except, you know, obviously the other way around. So we'll have our blocks kind of configured like that, except I don't want to weld the door up. Looks like I need more materials. Okay, so we've got kind of our hallway done. So from this point, what we're going to have is obviously the same as what we do in every other room. So we'll have 3 of these blocks on either side. And, well, so including this one, we'll have another one. So what we'll do is we'll drill out straight backwards by 3 blocks. And then we'll just place 3 of those interior walls down. So I think that should be enough. Then we can place down 3 of these. So that's our third. Spin them around, place them down like that, and then we'll just grab our regular interior walls and place them down like that. Although, seems like I might have to drill these out. I'm going to drill them out from the bottom because, like I said, I don't really want to damage that aesthetic that we've got going on there. And so, you know, we can still kind of see it through the window. Alright, so what have I got there? Oh, I've got one of these corner lights. Alright, so we're going to have to get rid of that and then place in our blocks for our hallway. So is that 3 blocks? Do I make it 1 block longer? I don't know. I'm going to have to go back downstairs and refer to what I was looking at before. Okay, yeah, so it is actually 3 blocks from this point. So this one, and then this one. And then after that, we have, like, our door. So we're going to place our door basically after this block. So we'll just place down some regular light armor blocks. Like that, that, and that. And then on the floor, I'll get rid of probably this block here. Why am I crouching? Let's get rid of this one, and then let's replace that with a regular interior wall, like so. Maybe I'll place one there for good measure. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so let's get all of this stuff welded up, and then we can talk about what I'm going to plan to do with this hallway and these rooms. Alright, so we've got all of our blocks done, so alright, let's talk about the hallway. So, well, I mean, apart from this hallway. So this hallway will then lead on to, like, a bigger hallway. Very similar to how I've got this kind of set up here. So we'll have a hallway that kind of comes out like this, but instead of it being so wide, so I believe this is 7 blocks. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so this is 7 blocks. Now, I want to kind of shrink it inwards and then shrink it downwards. So I'm probably going to get rid of this whole setup here. So I'm going to get rid of these blocks. I'm going to drop the roof down, and then I'm going to squeeze this side in. And then, but obviously when I get rid of this entire layer here, this block is going to drop down. So I'm going to spin this window around so the half block will kind of make it even narrower still. So even though this is 7 blocks wide, the new hallway will be something like only 4 blocks wide, because, you know, each side will have a half block kind of sticking out, if that makes sense. So, you know, it's going to be technically 5 blocks wide, but it needs to be, but it'll end up looking like it's about 4 blocks wide. So I think the shrinking down of the hallway, and then also like the shrinking of it this way, will make it more conducive to be, yeah, kind of like a hallway to access crew quarters and things like that. So now that's, yeah, so that means I need to drill out a whole, you know, 5x5, and it's only going to be about 2 blocks tall. So that's all good. Then what I need to do from there is think about the size of my rooms. So I'm thinking the rooms will have kind of like a 7x7 internal space, but they'll kind of share the block on the side here of the hallway to be the first wall. And then after that, there'll be another wall after that. So I'll need to drill out 5x7 and then by 7. And then I think I'm going to do about 6 rooms. And that'll be probably about 28 to 30 blocks long. So I need to build a drill guide that's going to be about 19 wide, 2 blocks tall, or maybe even 3 blocks tall, and then about 30 blocks long. So yeah, it's going to be a massive drill guide, and it's going to take me a huge amount of time to drill this out. But anyway, I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll be back and we can start designing this hallway and all the other stuff. Okay, and here we go. This is our drill guide. So as you can see, it's pretty big. So this is going to require so much drilling to get this done. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look like much at the moment, but yeah, you kind of got to remember that 5 blocks in the center of this thing will be our hallway, and then on the side of that we'll have like 3 different rooms. So we'll have 6 different rooms in total. Yeah, but so it's, yeah. So the rooms each are going to be 7x7 internal space. And I know that probably sounds like quite a bit, but, and there's like 2 different ways I could do this. I could do it like a barracks where, you know, you have tons of little tiny rooms and people kind of just, yeah, sleep in there or whatever. But I think I would rather go for quite large rooms and then kind of have them, yeah, like, you know, have like a luxury crew quarters. So you've got a bed, a big screen TV, couches, a toilet, a bathroom, shower, a kitchen, and, you know, a desk, a jukebox, and all those sorts of creature comforts. So maybe later on down the track I could try to expand it out so that it's, you know, possibly like, I don't know, let's say yeah, another 2 rooms, so we have 8 in total. I don't know how many. Yeah, it's really difficult to kind of judge how many rooms I should build, given the size of this base. Like, how many people would actually be crawling around this thing? Yeah, that's pretty hard to, yeah, hard to put a finger on. So, anyway, this is probably going to be one of the most challenging things I've built. I think I'm relatively decent at building, you know, ships and industrial areas inside the base, but I always do struggle with crew quarters and things like that, and making it look meaningful, natural, and good. So yeah, this is probably going to be one of the most challenging things I've done in this game. So yeah, alright, let's get this thing projected through the mountain, then drill everything out, and then get started with designing all this stuff. Alright, and here we are. Everything is drilled out, and as you can see, this room is absolutely enormous. I know it's probably doesn't look as like tall as all the other rooms, but yeah, in terms of length and width, man, this room is massive. Alright, so let's get started on the hallway that's going to connect to all of these rooms. So I think in actual fact, I'm going to get rid of these blocks here. So we'll get rid of this one, and then this one. And I want to place my door here, but in most of my other rooms throughout the base, I don't actually have a door here and then a door kind of embedded into that block there. So I think this time around, or, you know, I probably want to place the door there. Well, actually, let's get rid Alright, let's get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I usually place the door about there. Then we'll grab our light grey colour, because that's the colour we're going to kind of need. So let's place a block here, and a block here. And then we'll place a 2x1 base here. So kind of like this. Let's grab a 2x1 base. And yeah, well, not kind of like that, exactly like that. Come on, let me place the block. Darn it. Right, let's get rid of these voxels which are in our way. And then I guess what we're going to do here is just add in some blocks to kind of fill in this gap. So yeah, we'll do something like that. And then the hallway will kind of go all the way back here, like this. So we'll just make it go back about this far for the time being, but I think it may end up being a little bit wider than this. So I'll just place down the frames for the moment. But I guess later on what we can do is go ahead and weld all of this stuff up in kind of like a time-lapse style. And I think down the center, what I would usually do is place in these pipes. But, I mean, I don't really know if we're going to have medical rooms inside these rooms. So, for the moment, I'm just going to kind of, yeah, forego that requirement. And I think what I'll do instead is just place in these interior walls. Now, the question is, do I have materials on me to build them? No, I don't. Okay, so we'll just leave them blank. That's fine. Okay, so now from here, from this point, like I said, if we have a look at this room here, you can see it's 2 blocks tall. I wanted to lower this roof down, and then I wanted to squash it in. So we're going to have a 2x1 base, 2x1 tip, 2x1 base, 2x1 tip, whatever the heck this block is called, and then half blocks. So let us go and place those blocks down. So the blocks in the middle need to be light grey. Do I have the light grey colour selected? Yes, I do. So one of those, and then we want a tip, like so. Then above that, we shall have just a regular square block, or a cubic block, I guess I should say. And then on top of that, let's choose this colour. Yep, we've got the dark grey. So we want this block, and then we're going to have our half block, which shall be this one. And then it will kind of go along like that. So we'll place it in like that. And then what we'll do is we'll have the same blocks as what we do in the other hallway. So I have this block there, then this block there, and then these blocks, the half slope light inverted armor corner, I guess you could say. No, not corner, just light armor inverted, whatever it is. This block. Alright, let's place a whole bunch of those in. That'll do for now. Kind of give you an idea of the shape of the room. And then up above here, we'll change our color to light grey. Oh no, I don't think I have changed my color to light grey, have I? No. I've been placing dark grey blocks down this entire time. This is not good. Okay, so I got the right color. I recolored all the blocks that were incorrectly colored, so everything should be hunky-dory. So now from this point, we're going to place down some of these 2x1 tips. So they'll be like that, and then like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have either half blocks here or windows. So I'm thinking for this portion here, we'll have a half block. And then we shall have a window. So this is going to be the start of where my room is. So I'm basically going to have, like I said, it's going to be 7 blocks. So we're going to have like a, let's grab one of these windows here, for example. Let us make it the dark grey. And as I mentioned before, we're going to spin it around 180 degrees. So what you can see here is we've got 1, 2, 3 blocks. And then we've got half a block spacing and half a block spacing. So even though this hallway is technically 5 blocks wide, it is now kind of 4 blocks wide. So it does look a lot more compact than this hallway, but kind of shares a similar design. Maybe I might change up the roof at a later stage, but at this time, this is kind of the best thing I can kind of think of. So I'm sure later on I will go and change it anyway, but we shall see what happens. So here we'll have 3 blocks, which will make it 6 in total. So let's place in our block that goes the other way here, if I can ever find it. Yeah, like that. So we'll have those. Then what we'll do is we'll have a door. So I have my door like so, and then we'll place in our windows once more. So that is our 7 blocks. So here will be our wall. Here will be another wall. So I guess here what we can do is probably have, I guess just a half block really. So we'll have like a half block. Now I'm not completely sold on these windows because I mean, you know, it is a crew quarters. So perhaps having windows is not really the best idea, considering, you know, you probably don't want people looking into your window. So there is that. What I would really like to do is change them to maybe like transparent LCDs and then have a button inside the room where they no longer become transparent. They like kind of turn black or white or something like that. But I just don't think that is possible without the use of a script. So if you guys do know of a script that can actually do that, please let me know down in the comments. Yeah, so that's pretty much going to be the structure of this hallway and then the beginnings of these rooms. And then obviously on top of here, we're just going to place our blocks here. So this is kind of just a rough outline of what I want. So I guess we'll just see how it looks. I'm going to time-lapse build a lot of this stuff, and then we can kind of go from there. Now, actually, another thing I wanted to talk about, while I was drilling this whole area out, it kind of made me think that, you know what, maybe having 6 crew quarters for such a large base is just not really a great idea. I mean, just take this control tower, for example, right? If we jump up here, you know, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know, I've got 8 seats and 2 consoles here, so that's like 10 people just in this area. And then downstairs, you know, I've pretty much got a control room that sits in front of the rover that has like 6 people. Then I've got, you know, the reactor control room, and that has, I think, about 5 people. You know, so we're talking like, you know, nearly 20 people or something like that. Maybe even more. So I think what I'll do is I'll have this kind of set up for the executives. So these will be like kind of the luxury suites, in quotation marks. And then after that, there will be like kind of the pleb employees who will be, yeah, racked up in really tiny bunks like a submarine. So I don't know where I'm going to place that. Maybe I'll place it across the road from here. So we'll have like, you know, the executives over here. And then we'll have kind of like the plebs over there. I don't know if pleb is the right word. It's kind of the only word I can think of right now. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments. Okay, well, let's get started with getting this stuff done. Alright, and there we have it. So all the rooms, well, sorry, the entire hallway is now complete. It actually took me a little bit, maybe about like 15 minutes, something like that. I can't exactly tell you how long it took me, but yeah, it took quite a while. So what we're going to do is, what's this random block here? Perhaps I should build these up for good measure. What we'll do is we'll grab a couple of steel blocks here. And I actually had to manufacture quite a few, steel plates to get this done, but nevertheless, that's okay. So what we want is a 7x7 room, like I said before. So between these rooms is going to be a common wall. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll have another wall here. Except the wall, I believe, will be this color, or at least I want to believe it's going to be this color. So we'll go back. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we'll have like kind of our wall block, which will be there. So we'll go for that length. So yeah, basically we'll create a 7x7 cube. Okay, well, we have our 7x7 area, so now I kind of need to start dressing up this room. So I could just have a flat roof, either 2 blocks high or 1 block high, but you guys know me and my, absolute despisement. Is that even a word? Yeah, I really don't like flat spaces. Let's just put it that way. So to that end, I think I will copy the design that I've got going on out here, and we'll place some of these blocks here. So let's maybe place in some of these blocks here, the half slope inverted light armor, whatever they're called. I'll make them this color. I will skip the middle because maybe we'll put something else in there. So we'll place these along the wall like this. Okay, so they're all placed and welded in. I went and took the liberty of adding in these corners that kind of match up with these blocks. So yeah, it doesn't look too bad, I think. So maybe from about this point, what we can do is we can add in these blocks like this, or maybe, you know what? Maybe instead of adding these blocks here like this, I can change all of these blocks with 2x1 bases and then their corner counterparts. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and there we go. Now it's all complete. So, as I was saying before, maybe here we'll put our half slope light inverted corners, like so. So we'll place those in there. I suppose what I could do instead, right, is I could make these light grey. So perhaps we will do that as well, and then the pillars that kind of look like they're holding up the roof, we can kind of make those dark grey, which is kind of the theme that I've gone for in this entire base. So I should probably follow that theme on. Okay, so all of those blocks are coloured in correctly. Let's get these ones welded up here. And then basically on top of these blocks, what I'm going to have is like another layer of blocks here, just some square blocks. But let's try and figure out this taper. Alright, so I think we'll grab a 2x1 tip here to begin with. Right, so we'll do that, and we'll do it on all 4 sides, like so. Don't know what I'm going to put in between them and that. So then what we'll do is we'll grab just our regular light armor blocks, make them this color, and I'll put a line of blocks all the way along the edge here, and we'll get these welded up, and then we'll kind of create a pseudo roof out of these. Okay, so they're all done. I took the liberty of welding up these little corner pieces here. Man, I'm going through some steel blocks. I reckon this whole setup so far is probably, I've gone through about 10,000 steel plates, which is pretty insane. Okay, so we're going to place yet another line of blocks along here. So we'll do that. And I don't know if I'll weld these up. Maybe just the ones here that I can't get to after I weld up the rest of them. So we'll just do these 4 for now, and then we'll figure out our layout from here. So what I'm thinking is that we get, I suppose we could go for these blocks here. Let's make them the dark grey. Why aren't they being dark grey? Thank you. Right, now let's try this. Let's place in 4 of these ones here, like so. And because these kind of meet up with a half block, what I can do, and what the plan has always been, well, not always, but you know, for as long as I've been thinking about this room, is to go ahead and then place an air vent up here like this. So we could just place an air vent there, and it kind of sits flush with these blocks. Now, with these blocks here, I do believe there is actually a block that will meet up with these. Well, yeah, no, turns out there isn't actually a block to do that. Okay, so I guess, what do I place here then? We could go with maybe... Nah, it doesn't really line up properly. Actually, what is going on here? Okay, I think I know what's going on here. So I think we would have to go with one of these on either corner. So I guess it kind of does give it a little bit of dimension, because it looks like the other block is kind of popping out from that one. But I guess we'll just kind of have to see how they look once I get them all welded up. Okay, and there we go. So I actually think that looks okay-ish. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. I just don't know if there's any other way that I could do this. But I guess for the moment it is something. It looks kind of decent. Maybe we could kind of dress it up a little bit from here by doing this and adding in some of these blocks like that way. So we could do that on a few of these, although it doesn't really line up with what's going on down here. So I guess there is that. Now the question is though, I don't think there is a block that goes from here to here. Let me just double check that. I really don't think that block exists. Nah, it doesn't. Nah. I think I've been down this road before when I was doing the weapons on the Atlas, because I really wanted there to be a block that actually did that, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be like that is the case. Alright, well, you know what? I'm not really going to mess around with this roof too much. What I'll do though is, at least in this episode, I'm going to mess around with... Let's grab a whole bunch of construction components. I'm going to mess around with the interior for these rooms, because that's probably the most important part. So I'll place my lights going this way, kind of like perpendicular to the hallway, if that makes sense. Place them there. And then let's adjust the settings for these. I think that's kind of a centralized location for these lights. I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? So let's weld these up. And I've probably not labeled the lights, the rest of the lights in the base. So yeah, of course. So I got no idea which ones these ones are. So it's probably these. Well, it has to be these. So let's go 190, 215, radius 8.5. I will set the fall off to 2.0, and then I will set the intensity to 1.5, because honestly, yeah, I want the intensity to be a little bit stronger than what we have in the rest of the base. It doesn't really get to these corners, so I might increase it. Let's find our interior lights once more. So I believe it was these four. So 8.5 meters. Do I increase the offset instead? Let's maybe increase the offset to about 2.5. bump up the radius to 9.0. And actually, let's go 9.5. Okay, how's that? The corners are still relatively dark, although I think I can get around that with what I have planned to put in these corners. These corners here should light up once I go ahead and place in the lights for the hallway itself. Okay, so I think... Now, I don't know where all of my decorative blocks are actually stored on my hotbar, so we'll kind of have to figure that out as we go. So I'm thinking maybe on the very back wall, what I'll do is place in a bed. So I'll place a bed here. Need some interior plates
Energy
for that.
low.
And of course my energy is low. Man, my energy has just been running so flat lately. Alright, so let's place, I think, a bed on either side. Okay, that's cool. So now the bed kind of lines up because, yeah, this block is a weird block. It has like this shape here, but then it has a window on the back. So I don't know if you're really supposed to put these on the outside of ships and things like that. So yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't really make sense to me, but I guess, you know, it is the way it is. So now the question is, where are the showers and things like that? So let's add those to the hotbar. Okay, so I guess we'll place a shower there and then a toilet, I guess, here. So I'll leave these open, but what I'm going to do is probably grab a door and place a door in front of each of these, and then the sides of the doors will kind of morph into each other. And then what I can do is on the side of those, we can grab one of these little tiny corner pieces here. So we'll grab one of them, we'll place it like that, and then we'll just grab a half slab there like that. In fact, I don't think that's going to work though, because it probably needs to be the dark grey, because yeah, as you can see, these lines will kind of show through this block. So I think we're going to have to go with something like that. Okay, so what do I do from here? I kind of want this bed to be blocked off from the rest of the base, or from the rest of this room. So I'm thinking maybe we'll place in, I guess we could go for some steel plates. That's really the only option I have. Man, where are my steel plates? Or steel panels? Or light armor panels? Man, I just can't. Words are hard today. Words are too hard. So I'll place something like that so that, you know, when you're outside you can't see someone sleeping in their bed, because that's just kind of creepy. Even though I may even just get rid of the windows later on anyway, but I guess we'll just kind of see how we go with that. And then I want some blocks that kind of meet up with these ones. So I'm thinking we'll go for these ones, but light armor panel slope. So we could go the 45-degree ones. Do I really want to do that? I may do that. Alright, let's place... I don't know if I really want that. Maybe I want my 2x1 bases. Where are they? I don't know. We'll try the 45s. We'll see how we go with that. Get these welded up and see how that looks. And then maybe in front, what we can do is we can grab a transparent LCD and place it there. Is that transparent LCD? No, it's not. Okay, here we go. Let's add our wide LCD. Only problem is I never know which way these things are facing when you actually place them down. So let's grab the materials for that. I hope we have enough. Oh, awesome. I placed it the first way around, or the right way around, the very first time I tried to do it. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Don't know about this angle, but I guess, you know, we can kind of change it from there. So, while I was at it, I went ahead and I added the widescreen LCD. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have our widescreen TV here. Maybe there, or maybe there. I think I'll place it there. So I'll place it there. And then from there we can grab a couch, because we're going to need a couch to kind of sit around this TV, I guess. Okay, so want number 7, which is our couch. Probably space our couch out by 1 block. So we have 2 couches like that. I would go a couch that goes around, but it kind of meets up with the wall on this side. So, you know, let me kind of demonstrate that. So we would have a couch that, yeah, so it kind of meets up on that wall, but on this wall, you know, it goes like that. So you've got this really narrow kind of gap to get past to get onto the couch. So yeah, just aesthetically and kind of logically doesn't really make sense to do that. So we'll probably avoid that. And then behind that, we'll put in some planters. Okay, so we have a toilet. We have a shower. We have a bed. We've got a couple of couches next to the bed. We have a TV so that we can watch TV in bed. Then we've got a big screen TV and a couple of couches so we can invite our mates around for a couple of beers and then watch the footy or something like that. What's missing? So we need an area to study. We'll leave that to last. So I think what we should do next is probably start setting up the kitchen so we can prepare some snacks. Question is where are actually...
No energy.
Oh, such bad timing. Alright, well, it actually turns out that the blocks are underneath the planter blocks. Makes 0 sense, but I guess, you know, that's where they are. So I guess we'll place a sci-fi bar counter corner. And these guys really need to figure out some shorter names for these blocks, because, I mean, like, come on. Okay, now I think here what I would like to do is add in a vending machine. So let's search for a vending... Huh? That's not a vending machine. Okay, let's find a dispenser. What is a dispenser? So I would like to... Okay, it kind of blocks off the window. Alright, maybe we shall place our dispenser here. Okay, cool. And then I was, yeah, thinking about placing the kitchen there, and then the dispenser there. But I guess kind of makes sense to put the kitchen there because it's kind of see-through. Alright, so let's do that. Let's maybe add 1 more bench. Okay, so let's add 1 more bench. Planters, because it makes sense for kitchen goods to be under a planters. Cool, whatever. Okay, so I think that's it for the kitchen. So now we could probably get started on... actually, you know what? We need a dining table, don't we? So let's grab some desks. Although, you know, technically they're going to be desks. So I'll have to place 1 here, I think. 1 here. And I could go for corner desks here like this. I don't know if I really want to. Can I place these in? Yeah, I can. Okay, that's cool. Don't know if that's the way I want to place it. But whatever. We'll see how it looks once it's all done. Okay, so I think maybe... Alright, so let's place our desks in the corner here. Kind of like my study desk, I would say. So I could place a desk there and maybe another desk here. And then another desk there. Although you don't really need a big desk to kind of study. So maybe we'll just put in a planter on this side. And then perhaps we'll place another one there as well. And then maybe here what we can do is put in one of those like science station thingers or the lab equipment. So we could place in a lab equipment. Don't know if I really want to put a survival kit in here. I just think that would look a bit strange. Even though it kind of makes sense to have a survival kit in a crew quarters, it just, yeah, I don't know if it would look that good. It doesn't really fit with the theme of decoration blocks. Alright, so we'll place another 2 planters here, and then finally, in the center of the room, I think it would be fitting to add ourselves a jukebox. So let's remove this and add ourselves a jukebox right there. Okay, And now let's get all of this stuff welded up and see what the finished product looks like. Okay, now I do believe that is everything welded up. And, oh, well, whoops, we didn't do the bed. Okay, so I think, you know, it actually turned out relatively decent. We've got a big screen TV, lots of plants, we got some music, got some tunes, got ourselves a dining table, massive kitchen, probably too big. We need a bar fridge though. Yeah, we definitely need a bar fridge, but unfortunately they don't make it in this game, so... we even have some lab equipment so we can do some experiments. We have a TV in bed. Yeah, you know, I think this is definitely a luxury quarters. Only thing I think I want to change is maybe like the coloring and everything like that, because, you know, battered armor isn't really conducive to being a luxury experience, if you know what I mean. So I definitely think that's something we need to look at in the next episode. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I have time for. Really hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll probably get all the rest of these rooms smashed out the same as this one. And then maybe next episode we can think about like what we're going to do for coloring and things like that. So really hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you in the next episode. If you did like it, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification so that every time I release an episode, you get notified. Alright, thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.